What's up, everybody? It's your boy Adam back at it again for hashtag homeless. It's day 58, and you might hear in the background that once again, as usual, there is no quiet place to sit in this dump of a town, Jamestown, New York. I hate this place. Just started out right there. I didn't even think I was going to get this irritated about it when I hit the record button, but I'm not starting over. I'm just going to let it ride. Yeah, I spent 20 minutes walking around this park, walking around the area, trying to find a quiet place to sit down. And I know you guys don't care, because you say it all the time in the comments that you don't care. But imagine having to live in this dump for 58 days as a homeless guy, and all you want is to sit in a quiet place. Just once, just one time, to let me sit somewhere quiet. Can I just sit somewhere quiet and just enjoy quiet and hear what that sounds like for a minute? No. Not in Jamestown, you can't. Everywhere you go, it's obnoxiously loud. I know that the microphone on the microphone on the phone will amplify my voice and reduce the background noise, but I'm listening to a dude with a chainsaw, and if I go down the way, there's a dam the floodgates are open. It's really loud. If I go down a little bit further, the power company's doing some loud ass stuff. And, there's nowhere I can go that's not loud and obnoxious. I spent 20 minutes trying to find a spot. So, it is what it is, and we're just going to go. And we're just going to get this done today. I'm going to start out with the standard plugs. I'm going to try and do this more regularly, but more often towards the end of the video. But today, I'm just going to start out there. That way I don't forget. The mailing list, if you want to sign up for the email list, just in case, YouTube decides to put the kibosh on this channel, or, if you want to know what happens if I vanish, the best place to do that is to go to free.litgood.com. And the reason why I call it free.litgood.com is because you can download free wallpaper for your Android device, your iPhones, your iPads. You can download wallpaper for your desktop PCs and just about any screen size that's ever been created. I have a number of images. You sign up for an email list. You give me your name and your email address, and you will get in return in your email, you will get a link to go download some free wallpaper. You can bookmark that link. It's not password protected. I'm not trying to hide it. It's just a way to say thank you for subscribing. I mean, you could sign up for the email list, and then you could pass that download link for the wallpapers to all your friends. It's not just exclusive to you. Like I said, I don't keep it behind lock and key. There's no verification to prove that you're on the email list. None of that. It's just a token of you go there, you sign up for the email list, and you get a link back in your email that you can go download these things. So there's that. Check out the shop. The photo shop, which is shop.litgood.com. I just put another one up there yesterday. We'll talk about that in a minute. But there are 6 images for sale up there right now. And there are also photos on the YouTube channel now for sale. But there's going to be a little bit of a lag between when they're on the Etsy shop, which is at shop.litgood.com, and when they show up on the storefront that's associated with this PayPal or with this YouTube channel. And that's just because I have to maintain two separate stores, and it takes time to do this. And I'll get into more details about that because I've got some more stuff to talk about. But ideally, when they're in sync, they'll have the same products, the same prices, and the same content on both stores. So no matter which storefront you come to purchase art, you can rest assured that, as long as everything is up to date on both, they will have the same prices, the same products, and everything. But if you prefer shopping on Etsy because you feel like it's more secure and it's a safer place to shop, feel free to go there. It's shop.litgood.com. As preppers always like to say, 1 is none and 2 is 1. So I think it's a good idea to have 2 storefronts because In this cancel culture, Etsy likes to shut people down and close their seller accounts for no reason, just like PayPal likes to shut off people's accounts and take all their money, just like YouTube likes to shut down content creators' accounts. And, pretty much every platform out there, they'll kick you off without a moment's notice, and it doesn't have to even be for political or free speech reasons. They have a million other ways to do it. If you just want to browse and check out some photography and see what I'm up to, litgood.com. It's just for fun. No obligation to buy. Just go there. You can check out my work. You can contact me. You can send me a direct message. There's a contact form on that website. I'll get an email in my email box if you reach out to me there. And, once again, if you want to contribute to the show and you don't want to buy anything and you just want to throw money in a digital chicken bucket for a homeless guy on the virtual sidewalk, you can check out donate.litgood.com. And as far as I'm aware, I'll get the money. Even if I can never log into my PayPal account again, I'll just call and complain until they move the money into my checking account like I had to do the other day. So right now, PayPal, I can't ditch it. I found out last night when I was kind of thinking about things. I'll get into it in a minute, but I actually can't shut off my PayPal account, and I'll get into the reason why here in a second. But so my plan right now is to keep using PayPal whenever I get this account unlocked and I can actually log into it, even though it's been locked out for the third time in a month. But as they say, one is none and two is one in the prepper community. So I am setting up a second and probably a third option, not only for my digital chicken bucket or my digital cup or my digital instrument case or whatever you want to call it as I'm out here on the virtual sidewalk. I'm going to set up more than one, and not just for donations, but if I need to take payments from people I'm doing work for and things like that, it's just going to be helpful to have more than one option because, like I said, the man can shut your stuff off at a moment's notice, and as a prepper, you don't want to rely on just one thing. So always have a backup plan. When I get this all set up, the donate URL, donate.litgood.com, will just take you to a page. It's like an in-between page where you'll have multiple options of how you want to do it. And you could use PayPal. I'll probably set up Venmo, and I have a Square account already, and I already know how to get that going. I just gotta put these things together and then test them, which kind of sucks because I've got to pay myself with my own card and make sure that the transaction goes through on each of these platforms. And then that gets a little dicey because when these payment processing companies detect that you're paying yourself with a credit card in your own name, they'll shut you off for that. But they also allow some wiggle room for testing your payment forms. And basically how it works with Square is you pay yourself through the form to make sure it works, and then you have a certain amount of time to go issue yourself a refund to your own card, because basically the payment processing companies have a deal worked out with the credit card processing companies that because basically it's a way to circumnavigate getting a cash advance from the credit card company where they charge you an outrageous amount of interest. You can basically, if they didn't do this, you could go to your own payment form, drop $300-400 into your PayPal or into your Square account, drop that into your bank account and pay 3% of the transaction or something like that, and then the interest on your credit card when the credit card payment's due. And the credit card companies would rather you just go to an ATM and get a cash advance and pay, 30-40% interest or whatever they're charging. So that's why they do that. But last night, I was thinking about this, and I remember I still need to keep PayPal functional because I have some stock photography websites that I sell my photos on. And a few of these, the only option for me to get paid is to get paid through PayPal. And it sucks. So right now, for that reason alone, I can't shut off my PayPal account. Because I could get payments from, Adobe Stock or Shutterstock or iStock Photo or whatever these stock photo websites, and most of them, I'm going to have to log into each one that I use individually and double check to see if there's a second option where I don't have to use PayPal anymore. So this is like, you get tied into these systems and they hold you hostage. And even though you might want to shut it down, when I ditched Facebook a long time ago, it took me 2 weeks to shut Facebook off because of all the stupid things that I had tied to that Facebook account. And there were a few apps like Spotify. I could not log into Spotify. Spotify had to close my account and open a brand new account because when Facebook gets its tentacles into another app, they tie together so tightly that even the company themselves can't untie them. And if you close your Facebook account, you will lose access to your other accounts that Facebook is tied into. So whenever you see that button, I know people are doing this less and less these days, but anytime you see that button that says sign in with Facebook or sign in with Google instead of having to create an account, don't do it. Don't do it, because now your all of your accounts on all these different apps are tied to your Facebook identity and your Facebook account. And what if Facebook shuts down your account for political speech? Now you've lost access to 20 other apps because you can no longer log in because Facebook shut you down. So always use an email account for that stuff. Like, that is just a rule of thumb. I was guilty of being lazy back in the day. Oh, I can sign up with Facebook. Click and you're done. No, fill out the form. Fill out the registration form. Give them your email account. Verify the email. Go through the process. Because believe me, if you tie all that stuff to a social media account, you're going to be going through some hassles later on down the road at some point. But I'm not getting paid enough on these stock photo sites to worry about it too much right now. But I have to leave the PayPal account open just for that reason. But I'm gonna, and the thing is, I plan on doubling down on every potential income stream that I can get my hands on over the next several months. And, these stock photo sites and some other things can turn into a regular source of income. Maybe enough to make my rent payment every month or pay my electric bill or something at the bare minimum. And every time I upload a photo to any of these, whether it's the store, whether it's a stock photo site, anything at all, each photograph becomes a permanent source of income, passive income, that I never have to touch again. So you're not going to be making much when you've got 25, 30 photos sitting in one of these accounts. But I know from other people's experiences, when you have 1,000 photos sitting in one of those accounts, you're going to be making hundreds of dollars a month, if not more. So right now, I'm just trying to set up multiple streams of income. I want to have multiple streams of income to protect myself because, I've been canceled. I can't get a job at Burger King. So if I have to do this on my own and make a living without having to go work for somebody, I'm gonna be the Hydra. I'm gonna have 5 or 6 heads coming off my body, so that if you cut off one of my heads, I'm just gonna grow 3 more where you cut the head off, and you're not gonna be able to shut me down. But it's gonna take time. It feels like I'm trying to climb Mount Everest, but if you sit at base camp looking up at the top of Mount Everest, wondering how you're gonna get there, and you never start taking steps, well, you're never gonna get to the top. But if you start taking little baby steps, 1 step at a time, you'll get there eventually. So I'm on the socials. I'm on Rumble, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I'm never going to call it X. I'm too old for that. And I think X is a dumb name. It's a dumber name than Twitter was. So it's going to be Twitter for me from now on. I'm never calling it X. And I'm on Facebook. I even have a Pinterest profile, and I'm in the process of cleaning that up. And so I'm just going to try to establish a little bit of a presence on all these social media things. And I'm also trying to make some more connections on LinkedIn. So if any of you are professionals out there and you want to connect, I'm really easy to find on LinkedIn. In fact, I've had some very interesting conversations with some of you on LinkedIn, of all places. So hit me up there. The more street cred I can get on LinkedIn, the better chances I'll have of getting a job. I'm basically going to whore myself out on all the social media platforms right now. I just need to get into some kind of regular rhythm where I can keep up with juggling all of it. So I'm just going to do a little bit at a time, and I'm just going to try to make a habit of regularly posting content across the board. So whichever of these social media garbage apps that you use, I'll be on pretty much all of them at some point in some fashion. So I'm just going to be a social media whore at this point and try to get my photography in as many places as I can. So anyway, yeah, that's it for the plugs. Like I said, it's Homeless Day 58. So the first thing after the plugs, we talked about this a minute ago, but I really want to thank you guys for signing up for the email list the other day. When I asked you to do it, I I promoted it the other day, and then I never even looked at it. And yesterday, like I said, I wasn't paying attention to it. I don't get any kind of notification when you sign up for it. So yesterday I thought, why don't I go look there and check? And when I saw the numbers of you that signed up, you actually helped me meet one of my goals that I had set a while ago. And it was taking a while to cross off of my to-do list, which is the reason why I asked you to sign up for it in the first place. So you got me to the point where I could cross that off and drag it into the done column for the week, and that felt good. And now I'm just going to set a goal for a higher number, and we'll just go from there. So check out, if you haven't checked it out, it's free.litgood.com is the address, and it'll be in the description below if you're on Rumble, if you're on YouTube. If you're on TikTok, don't know what to tell you. That app is trash. And if you're on TikTok, people aren't even watching these videos on TikTok, to be honest. There's probably 5 of you watching them because, I'm not some chick in a thong making a duck face for 30 seconds. So, this is not TikTok content. And I knew that when I started doing this, but a lot of my friends said, oh, you got to be on TikTok now because that's the new thing. And no, no, I don't, but I am. And it's just there as a backup at this point. But anyway, go get the wallpaper and download them. I hope that all of you who signed up for the email list were able to do it without any problems. Let me know if you did have any problems with it. The images are pretty high resolution, and the downloads page might take a while to download if you have a slow connection. And I haven't had time to do a better job segmenting everything out on that page to make the downloads faster. It's basically downloading all the images at once you land on that page. So if you have a bandwidth cap on your phone plan, sorry about that. I'll make sure to send out at least one email in the next few weeks. And I'll throw a discount code for my shop when I reach my goal of getting 20 photographs up for sale on each platform, on each shop. So when I hit that 20 photograph goal, I'll come up with some sort of deal for you guys and send it out through the email list. Honestly, all the support, whether you're buying photos, whether you're throwing money in the chicken bucket, whether you are just leaving comments, and supporting the channel that way. It's honestly, it's all the kind words and support that you guys throw my way that's helping me the most, dealing with all the stress of this and keeping me motivated to grind on several simultaneous things that I'm working on, and to not give up when I'm at a low point of the up and down roller coaster that I'm riding right now. In fact, yesterday, as I was eating dinner, I had an experience that it made me completely sick to my stomach, and I don't want to talk about it. A couple of you friends of mine know what happened, but I'm just going to say it was extremely painful, and it's hard to deal with, even something like what happened yesterday while I was trying to eat. And I had to sit there and try to choke down the rest of my food, and then I had to get out of this place as fast as I could and just go call my best friend for a few minutes to just to help me get back into the right frame of mind, put it that way. And I will say it this way: I need to get out of Jamestown as fast as I can possibly get out of this place. I'm never going to be able to heal from the trauma that I've been through while I'm here in this town. I won't. It'll always be there, and there's always going to be a level of just, I don't know what the word is for it, but I need to get out of Jamestown. That's my number one goal in life right now, is to get as far away from this place as I can get. But the support of my friend, along with all you guys watching this shit show unfold, yesterday, all your support, my friend, and you helped me out of my jam quickly, and I was able to jam for another hour and a half down at crazy old Tim Hortons, when all I wanted to do was go somewhere and dwell on some really dark thoughts about somebody. But I was able to get out of that funk really fast, go to crazy Tim Hortons, and channel all of that positive energy that you guys are putting out there into getting something accomplished. And as small as it was, it completely took away the shock to my system and made me feel better about all of this just by saying that I got something done. So I used the time yesterday to get another photo listed on my shop at shop.litgood.com. And like I said, my goal is to have 20 more photos within the next couple of weeks, or 20 photos in total, on both the Etsy store and the Fourth Wall store that's linked to this YouTube channel, so that when you go to the shopping tab on YouTube and see them right there listed in the YouTube app, there will be about 20. Well, there will be 20 of them there or more. But 20 is a good place to start. It'll make my store look like I've put some time into it, which I have, and it'll make it look complete. Right now, it looks a bit sparse. It looks a little empty. It looks like one of those divey, what do you call them, Quickie Marts, or the convenience store where you walk in and all the shelves are empty. And you can get gas, and all the shelves are 75% empty, and it's just a dump. And that's kind of what my store looks like right now. So I want the shelves to look full and well stocked. Because seriously, if I can never get a job in my profession again, it's going to force me to pursue this photography really hard. Like I said yesterday, I added another photo to the shop. The goal is to have 20. I want to have small income streams until I have 5 income streams that each account for 20% of my income, because I feel like I need to become the Hydra, so that when they cut off one of my heads, I can grow 3 more in place of it, and they'll never be able to shut me off again. I can't say that enough. Everybody should be doing this right now, because that's the times that we're living in. So once again, even if it feels overwhelming to do that kind of stuff, just start taking some baby steps, because over time, you'll eventually get to the top of Mount Everest. But if you're just sitting still and you're feeling overwhelmed by all these tasks that feel impossible, and letting all the bitterness that you have toward other people who have wronged you and all the things like that will paralyze you with inaction and idleness, that'll result in more damage than you can possibly imagine over time. But if you take baby steps each day, they start to add up. 1 or 2 months into a project like I'm doing right now, no, it doesn't look like I've done much. But give it a year, and it's going to look like I'm a pro and I've been doing this a long time. So just keep at it. Just keep one step at a time, one job application at a time, one thing at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time, one breath at a time. Whatever you have to do to convince yourself to get up off your ass and do it. I can't tell you how quickly yesterday, like I said, being able to accomplish something, even if it was small, it made my anxiety just go away. It reduced it to the point where the effects were not paralyzing me anymore. So that's kind of my trick right now. If I'm really starting to feel overwhelmed, grab my laptop, grab something, do something, find something to do. It can be anything, just do something. And that's what I want to show all of you guys and gals as you continue to watch this channel grow. I want you to see that somebody can hit rock bottom and have nothing at all, and see somebody who's friends and family and someone who thought, someone who you thought was your best friend throws you out into the fucking street like a useless piece of trash, and you have absolutely nothing but what's in a backpack and no prospects and no job or nothing. And you can build something from that, and you can still make it, and you can have a more successful life than you had before any of that happened. And if you've already got a firm, solid ground and a foundation to start from, well, then you're ahead of the game. So if I can do it, if I can prove to you that I can be successful after all this bullshit I've been through, then none of you are going to have an excuse, because you can look and say, look at what this guy did. Look at what this guy did. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm doing it. It's just, things don't happen overnight. Like I said, building one of these Etsy stores, it takes about an hour to add one photograph for sale on Etsy. So it'll take another hour to add the same listing to the mirror shop that I'm maintaining that's linked to this YouTube channel. So I have about 28 hours left of labor. 28 hours I can expect it to take to meet my goal of having 20 images for sale on those stores. So that's 28 images to get that, or 28 hours to get that done. Plus I've got to look for a job. Plus I'm doing these YouTube videos and all the things associated with that. Plus I'm doing, there's a few other things. I'm doing a freelance job for somebody, and I'm also going to be turning the artwork that I'm creating for that freelance job into a series of posters on the Etsy store, on the other storefront. There's 20 other things that I can't even think of right now that I'm putting my time into. So, think about how much time it would take to get a store with 1,000 images in it, or a stock photography website with 1,000 photos for sale. Especially when these stock photo websites are so picky that I can submit 20 photographs and they'll reject 15 to 18 of them for various reasons, some of which can be corrected and some which can't. They're extremely picky on some of these sites that I'm submitting my artwork to. So just multiply that. Just multiply all the hours, and it's daunting. It's daunting. It's like sitting at the bottom of Mount Everest going, man, it would be nice to go up there someday, but how am I going to do that? And it does. You have a hard time. You will have a hard time not feeling overwhelmed by all of it if you're trying to do something like this with your life. You kind of have to sit down. You have to prioritize things. Sometimes you have to push things down on your to-do list so low that they'll probably never get done, and just focus on the things that are going to do you the most good. And if I get a full-time job, I'm going to have to go through that whole prioritization process again, because it'll change everything about how much time I have to put in on things. But I have pretty much no life. I don't really have any friends. I don't have anything going on. Don't have a relationship to worry about. My kids are hundreds of miles away, so all I have is time, and I'm just going to use it the best I can right now. I kind of think that finding a job would open up more time for me, because it would stop these social services appointments, and it would open up the ability to get my own place. And then at that point, I can grind on my own stuff whenever I feel like it, as long as I'm not at work. Versus being locked into wherever the Wi-Fi is available, like having to sit at crazy Tim Hortons or the library, or, last night I tested the waters and stayed up in the homeless shelter until midnight working on some stuff. And nobody bothered me because I'm in that private room now, and so I can do that now. But I have to use my phone's hotspot for now. And there's a bandwidth cap, so I got to be careful on that. So I don't know how much I can actually do, but that gives me an hour, maybe 2 hours at night that I can recover that I didn't have before. So, I'll just pick tasks that take an hour or two and focus on getting those off of the, pulling the low-hanging fruit, they call it. So yeah, I'm not kidding when I say I'm going to go from having nothing and making nothing and being worth nothing and being a homeless piece of shit who, has no friends and who pretty much nobody wants anything to deal with, nobody wants to have anything to do with, to having multiple income streams that each make six figures. And, anybody who's ever wronged me in the past are going to be sorry that they didn't stick around for the show and all the benefits that come with it. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't take no for an answer. I never have, and I never will. So, I will fight to the bitter end of this. I will fight to the bitter end. Believe me, I will fight until there's nothing left in me and I'm 6 feet underground. So yesterday I was talking about, I got a call from a temp agency who asked me if I could come in for an interview yesterday. And, when I was talking to you guys on the video, I said I was going to try and do it on Monday. Well, it was only an hour after they called me, and I called them back to see if it could be Monday. And this is around 11 a.m. yesterday, which was Friday. The woman on the phone told me the job was already filled, and she was looking for someone to start on Monday. So it wasn't even an hour after she called me asking if I would come in for an interview with her. So I never even really had a chance to get the job because the social services people had me in their office, and I missed the phone call because I was in there doing all their busy work. I was going to the stupid job search appointment and missed out on a job because of that. I honestly believe even if I had called this woman back after the social services appointment, I would have already missed out on the job. That's just how these things are. Some of these temp agencies are just no good, and it is what it is. I don't care. But the woman did tell me that she wants to have me come in on Monday so that we can fill out an I-9 and documentation and all that stuff, that just in case they get, and the next time they have an open opportunity, they're going to throw it at me. So, and that could happen fast. So now Monday I have 2 job interviews. That's going to take up a good chunk of my day. And it is what it is. One of these temp agencies offered me a job about a month ago. Maybe it was a little more than that. But I had to say no because it was in Pennsylvania, and I'm not allowed to cross state lines. And I think the woman got mad at me about it, and she never called me back, and she won't return my calls now. But I've been told by people who live in this town that if you ever say no to this woman, she'll never talk to you again. Like, you basically have to be at her beck and call, and if you miss one of her calls, you're done. Which doesn't make any sense because it's only in their best interest to get you a job and get you money, because that's how they make their money. So, whatever. Headhunters are either really shitty to deal with or they're really good people to deal with, and you just have to feel that out. I've had both experiences in my career, and so I would never say don't go to a temp agency or don't go to a headhunter or a staffing company. Because sometimes you get some really good recruiters that'll help you not just find one job, but they'll help you maintain a career. These ones here don't seem to be the case. They just seem to, whatever. I don't know what the word is I'm trying to think of, but I have 2 interviews on Monday. I'll follow up with that other temp agency, even the one that hasn't talked to me in a while, and see if they have anything. So that'll give me 3 irons in the fire tomorrow. But, these places, they all seem a little shady, if I'm being truthful. If they're nixing you from a job because you didn't return a phone call in under an hour, but it is what it is. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, so it is what it is. So anyway, I even asked her on the phone. I said, well, I might be able to come in today. I just kind of played that game a little bit when she expressed how urgent she was trying to fill the job. and she said she already had somebody in there filling it for her. So if I had filled out this job application on Wednesday instead of Thursday, but I found it on Thursday, so there, it is what it is. If I had found it on Wednesday and filled it out on Wednesday, I'd probably have the job. So it is what it is. I just assume God's going to figure it out for me however it's supposed to be, and I'm not going to have to worry about it. And I'm going to switch over here and do a time check. I think that's about it for today. A lot of updates, and, there was no story time today, but we're at 35 minutes, and I just don't, I have tons of stories. I could just pull one out of my head, but I'm just going to let it go for today. So, once again, thank you all. Thank you all for the support. It's really great. Keeps me motivated. I'm on my way to Crazy Tim Hortons behind me here. It's about a 3-minute walk from where I'm sitting. The library doesn't open for another hour and a half, so I'm going to go there instead because I can get started right away. I'm going to bang on my photo store. I'm going to work on some artwork, and I'm going to try to do things today because it's Saturday, things that enjoy me, things that I enjoy. I don't know if they enjoy me. They might not. I know my computer doesn't enjoy me sometimes when I'm banging on the keyboard when it messes up. But we have a good relationship anyway, the MacBook and I. We get along pretty well. And so I'm just going to go do that. Tomorrow's church. I'm going to get, going to look good for church tomorrow for the Lord. He likes it when I come correct. And we're going to take care of that tomorrow. And I don't know. I mean, there's a part of me that just wants to leave the office bag at the homeless shelter locked away and just carry a camera around. But when I walk around Jamestown, it's like, there's nothing I want to take a picture of here. There really isn't. I try finding pictures that other people take of Jamestown just to see if anything inspires me. Like, that I can do a copycat of, not a copycat, but go to, like, the same inspirational spot and take a photograph that's in my style of the same thing. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing in this town. There's nothing but misery, bad memories, crackheads, and despair, and broken down businesses, and broken down homes, and condemned buildings, and trash. That's Jamestown, New York. So with that, hopefully tomorrow we can talk again, and I hope y'all have a good day, and please like and subscribe. I'm at 950 the last time I checked, but sometimes I lose a couple after I say the wrong thing. So FJB, and me. So anyway, we're gonna talk tomorrow. Peace out.